Today, we're diving into an economic titan that isn't even a country, but honestly, it might as well be. We're talking about the state of California. We're going to break down just how its economy has gotten so massive that it's now going toe-to-toe with global giants like Japan and Germany. All right, let's just kick things off with one absolutely staggering number. $4.1 trillion. That's California's gross state product for 2024. In simple terms, that's the value of every single thing made and done in the state. If California just decided to become its own country tomorrow, this would be its GDP. So, that $4.1 trillion figure, it really puts California in a whole different league. You know, we're not just talking about a piece of the US economy anymore, we're talking about a genuine global player. And as you're about to see, its size is really changing how we think about economic power. Now, this isn't just about being the biggest state economy in the US, it's officially the largest subnational economy in the entire world. Let that sink in. No other state, no province, no region anywhere on Earth produces more economic value than California. Period. So, here's the kicker. If you just plucked California out of the US and put it on the world map as its own nation, its economy would be the fourth largest on the planet. I mean, that's not just playing in the big leagues, that's being one of the heaviest hitters on the team. Okay, so let's actually look at the rankings and see how this all stacks up. This isn't just a fun thought experiment, this is a real, direct comparison with the world's leading economic powers. Just take a look at this chart. You've got the US, you've got China, you've got Germany, and then boom, right there at number 4 is California, with its $4.1 trillion economy. It's not just on the list, it's sitting ahead of powerhouse nations like Japan, India, and the UK. It's absolutely wild. A single US state is outproducing some of the world's most established countries. This slide, wow. This one really puts California's insane productivity into perspective. Look at India. It has a similarly sized economy, right? But it takes 1.4 times billion people to generate that wealth. California does pretty much the same thing with only 39 million people. That's just a mind-boggling level of economic efficiency. It's a testament to the incredibly high-value industries that are driving the state. So you have to be asking, how on earth does one state generate so much wealth? Well, the secret isn't just one thing. California's power really comes from this dynamic, incredibly diverse mix of industries that are all, frankly, world-class leaders. I mean, the diversity here is the key. You've got the undisputed global center of technology in Silicon Valley. Then you have Hollywood, a cultural engine whose movies and TV shows are a massive global export. And you can't forget, it's also one of the most productive agricultural regions on the planet, with huge financial centers and ports that are the gateway for trade between America and the world. Every single one of these is a powerhouse on its own. And this part is so important to remember. It's really not just about silicon chips and movie stars. The state's agricultural heartland, the Central Valley, is an absolute monster. It grows a massive chunk of the food for the entire United States. And here's another huge piece of the puzzle, the sheer concentration of major companies. We are talking about 58 Fortune 500 headquarters. Giants like Apple, Alphabet, and Disney, they aren't just brand names. They're these massive hubs for innovation, for high-paying jobs, and for an incredible amount of economic activity that just ripples through the whole state. But this whole story of incredible, almost unimaginable wealth, it has a flip side. When you start to look a little closer at what life is actually like in California, beyond those huge GDP numbers, a much more complicated and challenging picture starts to emerge. On paper, things look fantastic. The average wealth per person is exceptionally high. At over $100,000, California's GDP per person would rank 10th in the entire world, which suggests a really high standard of living for everybody. But that's definitely not the full story. The challenge, and it is a massive one, is that this really high income is often just completely eaten up by equally high expenses. The cost of housing especially is through the roof. It's among the highest in the country, and that puts this immense pressure on what's left in people's bank accounts at the end of the month. And right here is where we see the real-world impact of that high cost of living. Look at these two numbers. The official poverty rate, it's about 11.8%, pretty close to the national average. But when you use the supplemental rate, which is a much better measure because it actually factors in the cost of living, that number skyrockets to 17.7%. That's one of the highest in the entire country. So here's the bottom line. By this much more realistic measure, California's incredible wealth exists right alongside significant economic hardship.
It really is a tale of two Californias, where massive prosperity and deep poverty live right next to each other. So, what do we take away from California's story? On one hand, it shows us the incredible potential of innovation and economic growth. But on the other, it's this powerful cautionary tale about the deep, deep challenges of inequality and affordability that can come with that kind of success. The real question for the future isn't just about California getting bigger, but whether it can find a way to make all of that incredible wealth actually work for everyone.